Hey guys, welcome to Lunatic Astrology. I am your astrologer, Lori Lothian. I'm going to talk about the eclipse that as on December the 25th/26th. It is a solar eclipse and it will have a 6-month unfoldment in your life and in the lives of everybody. I want to talk a little bit about it per sign, so you can go ahead to the timestamps. I'm also going to talk about it at a collective level. We've got a dash of Hades, the god of the underworld, mixed in here with some Uranian and Jupiterian influences. It's going to be an interesting unfoldment. Before I go ahead and talk about the overall perspective as well as later on all signs, a quick note. So I put up something new on my website by demand of clients. It's a whole web page on the site called gift certificates. If there's somebody you want to gift a reading to for Christmas or into the new year, I have a sale. Two of my readings that are very popular right now, Jupiter's Blessings, Jupiter in Capricorn for your year ahead, or my Harness Your Lucky Stars are on sale for only $97. So go ahead, check it out. I'm thinking it would make a great last minute gift, Christmas gift certificate if you've been stuck without a chance to shop for someone you love. As well as my year ahead fabulous forecast is only $150. It's normally $225. That's on sale to the end of January as a gift certificate as well as a reading. So go check it out. Anyway, enough of the business. Oh, and don't forget, please like and subscribe and share my videos if you do like them, and comment. It's a new channel and every little bit helps my algorithm as I grow this little corner of the universe with you guys. Thanks. So first of all, what do I want to say about this particular solar eclipse? First, I want to remind you of something. I want to remind you that this eclipse is a part of a longer story. It didn't just start yesterday or today or on the 26th. It started actually in July of 2018. And it completes its cycle as the last of the eclipses on July 5th, a lunar eclipse, and June 21st, this summer, a solar eclipse. And these eclipses are a cycle of eclipses moving through the signs of Cancer and Capricorn. And so in your natal chart, there's a vortex of energy moving through an axis in your chart, changing your reality. And this particular axis of change happened to you 18 and a half years ago in the same part of the chart, in the same way it's happening right now. All right, so we get to relive this, but every time it's different and every time the changes are different. So I'll give you a quick example. For the Aries of the world, you know, I am an Aries sun, but I mean, especially for the Aries ascendant people, these eclipses are moving through the 10th house and the 4th house and have been since mid-2018. This is a wormhole or a vortex of energy. I like to picture it like a spiral that's inviting or actually catalyzing change, whether you like it or not, especially in the 4th and 10th house. That's a very strong axis of the chart. So for me, as an Aries sun and moon actually, this has resulted in me changing my home. I no longer live in Vancouver. I moved to Montreal in this window of time since mid-2018. Funny enough, that's just about when my landlord put the house for sale in Vancouver up on the market in July of 2018, and boom, I was moving by January of 2019. Also, my career's changed. Yes, I've done astrology for years, but I'm doing it professionally now, and that started during the same wormhole of energy. So this is going to be exciting when you listen to the all signs, because I'm going to delineate not just about which part of your chart it's happening in, and we'll be completing the cycle at the end of 2020, but how Jupiter, Uranus, and Hades are playing a role in how the next 6 months from this eclipse will unfold. Now, at a collective level, I'm going to say 3 things. We have Jupiter, Cazimi, the sun / conjunct the eclipse, because an eclipse is a new moon, right? So the sun and the moon are conjunct. At 4 degrees actually, in this particular case of Capricorn. Jupiter has just moved out of direct Cazimi and is going to be at 5 degrees, okay, of the sign of Capricorn. So he's just come from the heart of the sun. He's been Cazimi. He's in the lap of the sun. You can look at this as Jupiter getting his divine instructions. In traditional astrology, he's invisible, therefore he's not powerful right now. He's not malefic. He can never be that. He's just kind of off duty, you know, out to lunch. But he's going to come back into his action mode once he clears the rays of the sun, maybe when he's about, 8 or 9 or 10 degrees out from the natal sun, the position of the sun in the chart, in the heavens. and we can see Jupiter in the sky again, then he gets his power back. But he's gotten a divine download, right? Because the sun represents our soul's intention individually in our chart, and it represents kind of the collective soul and the divine, the aspect of ourselves that's non-local. And, you know, if you believe in a creator, you call the sun the creator aspect. If you feel like, you know, we're all one and it's just one big mash of, you know, soul energy that we're like a part of, that's it too. It doesn't matter how you describe the divine energy, the grand orchestrating intelligence, the implicate order, however you describe it, that's kind of where the sun is at. And so when Jupiter's in the heart of that, and he's cazimi and invisible once a year, and in this case it's correspondent to this eclipse, we know he's going to come out into his visibility and bring great blessings to your life and to the life of the collective. So as daunting and foreboding as it feels to be facing that Saturn-Pluto conjunction in January on the 12th, which I will talk about in a separate video, we have Jupiter's blessing coming into this time. As well, Uranus is trining the eclipse, and Uranus in a trine aspect can bring sudden insights and downloads and inspiration and eurekas. A trine is of the nature of Jupiter. It's subtle, it's soft, and it's positive, and it's of a great goodness and blessings. This trine during the eclipse makes me feel like Uranus will act more as a god of insight and ahas, eurekas and downloads, and he will actually catalyze direct change in your life. And the last part is Hades. Is a trans-Neptunian planet. It's a hypothetical planet, just so you know. It doesn't actually exist with a telescope, but it actually works. If you want to know more about trans-Neptunian planets, I recommend the UranianAstrologer.com. I think the astrologer's name is Susan, and she's really a good delineator of these particular celestial points. So Hades happens to be conjunct the North Node as this eclipse happens, and exactly conjunct at 8 degrees. And so I'm going to suggest that the things that Hades represents are going to be coming up for all of us into the collective awareness, the field of our collective. What does Hades represent? Well, because I really like the trans-Neptunians and I'm not an expert yet at them, I'm going to read a little bit about what the Uranian astrologer has to say. Because, you know, Hades on the North Node means something positive and something good, something that's collectively for the soul's expansion, so to speak, will occur that involves themes that Hades is about. And what does Hades talk about, and like what is he really about? Well, first of all, matters of decay, unpleasantries, sinister, criminal, deeply buried things, dirt and garbage. Okay, dudes. So maybe what we're looking at here is some dirt, garbage, hidden, sinister, buried and unpleasant things that are going to come to the collective light that liberate us and bring us greater freedom. Because that North Node is in Cancer, which cares about everybody, the Great Mother, the collective, you know, one heart of us all, whatever is going to be revealed could bring a great healing and a great sense of connection to all of us. Now, as well, this can represent antiques, antiquities, the occult, excavations, etc. I'm wondering if we're going to also uncover some kind of like new discovery, like something buried under the Sphinx, or a new lost city under the earth, or a UFO that was buried underneath an iceberg or something in Antarctica. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, you never know. I also feel with Hades there, conjunct the North Node in that benevolent, loving sign of the Great Mother Cancer, that perhaps some catalytic and sudden event, Uranus is going to be sextile during the eclipse, the Hades conjunct the North Node, so there's a sudden quality, but still sextiles don't usually bring hardship, bring something positive. Of the nature of Venus. It's funny, I almost think buried treasure. You know what I mean? Some buried treasure coming to light. Should we have some catalysm or hardship in the fallout from that January Pluto-Saturn conjunction, like say some event in February, like a all too expected repeat of a 9/11 kind of thing somewhere in the world, because, you know, we haven't gotten rid of terrorism, and the pot has been stirred greatly lately about nationalism and isolationism, and there's all kinds of stuff going on with a lot of heated temperaments in the polarity of this environment politically and geopolitically right now. If we were to have some kind of devastation or a really awful event, like let's say a terrorist event, what we could do this time is bring ourselves together. We didn't do that after 9/11. I lived near that event. I was in DC at the time. I used to live under the shadow of the trade towers. We lost an opportunity to pull ourselves together as a collective and to kind of come in as one. We started that way and it kind of fell apart. Let's not go there. It's the second chance window. For some reason, I feel like we might be due for something like that in 2020, and probably in March or April. February or March. And the sense of that intuitively is that that could bring us together again. And so there's that as well. So not to be too heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about each sign now. So just a reminder, check your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. They all apply. If you're born at night, the moon is a little bit more strong for you. And if you're born in the daytime, the sun is a little bit more stronger in its meaning. So I would just say, if you're a night baby, check the moon sign. And if you're a day baby, check the sun sign. And if you are an ascendant, always look at your ascendant. Now, you don't know your ascendant or your sun and moon sign, just go to astro.com, a free resource, plunk your birth data in there, time of birth is needed, and you'll be able to find the ascendant or the rising sign, sun and moon. All right, let's go, guys. So you Aries folks, like me, we just talked about this as a demo example, but yeah, it's all about your career, it's all about your home. Now, because I already kind of mentioned you guys, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I'm hoping you listen to the earlier segment, go back. But I want to say this. Jupiter in the heart of the sun is a reminder for you headstrong, bold Aries who love to do things from your head sometimes without going into your heart, to really listen to this download of wisdom and this information that you might get from that powwow that Jupiter had in the heart of the sun to bring you a golden opportunity in the first 6 months of 2020 as this eclipse window unfolds. And don't always run with your ideas without checking in with the Jupiterian, all-knowing, wise, golden opportunity, growth, and expansion God himself. He will be bringing you some good blessings, Capricornian style, material resources, building up structures, creating your business, etc. Doing well in whatever you are doing resourcefully during 2020. With Hades sitting on that north node for you guys in the placement that represents your fourth house, there's a strong feeling that you guys could probably have some shifts around your home. Now I'm laughing because they're doing construction up above right now in the attic of my house in Montreal. But of course, this is an excavation energy. Hades, the underworld, the god of, the underworld, So what's going on under the surface of your home that you need to pay attention to? Not just your physical building in your home, what's going on underneath your sense of your own true self, your own inner home. That can be your family of origin, your parental home. It could be your ancestral line. It could be about your father, which is representative of fourth house, or lessons learned from your father that will be excavated and brought to the surface for you to experience as a treasure of some sort, or as an opportunity for healing of some sort. Okay? Now, it's getting dark here, so I still have my light. I'm using like a ring light, so if you ever look weird to you guys and the light's weird, it's just because it's dark in Montreal in the winter, and I need some kind of lighting, so I realize I'm kind of like pale. But anyway, let's go on to Taurus. All right, Taurians, it's the 9th house, 3rd house axis, and it's deeply soulful. The eclipse itself is happening in your 9th house of God. This is the house where the sun is in its joy in Hellenistic astrology, and the eclipse is happening there, and it's the sun meets moon in the 9th house. So guess what? This is a joyful energy, and its very essence is already emboldened by this. The eclipses have been going through the 9th and 3rd house for a long time. Foreign land, foreign travel, Tauruses, this is good for you. You'll have deep wisdom and growth and expansion through those trips you take abroad. Short trips, 3rd house, long trips, and foreign trips, 9th house. It's also the house of education, university and college and diplomas and higher education in the 9th, and in the 3rd house, short-term seminars and workshops. If you're a writer, speaker, teacher, the 3rd house is being activated throughout this time, and you'll get way more leverage in those areas of your life, but changes as well as the eclipse's wormhole through here. It's a very mystical placement, the 9th house. This December eclipse may unfold and reveal to you a new aspect of your own connection to your soul. You could call the 9th house the house of God or the house of the soul. You might find yourself more connected, more deeply connected to your inner and deeper truth as the 6 months unfold, as we get ready for the last of these eclipses on June the 21st, 2020. All right. Gemini. So Geminis, you're going to experience a little bit of this energy in a way that could be uncomfortable for you, airy mental signs, because the eclipse is in the 8th house, and there's this axis of 8th and 2nd houses being activated, and has been activated for you since midsummer of 2018. So you're being asked to go into the depths, right? The 8th house is a house of death. And then on top of that, you have during this eclipse on December 26th, you have Hades sitting in the 2nd house of your resources and possessions, conjunct the North Node. So now, because it's the North Node and there's a pressure or pull towards you earning more income, being more resourceful, that's been the call for you. Be more resourceful, earn more income, stretch into being self-reliant, bringing the possessions and material resources you need to yourself, not relying on spouses' money, partners' money, friend business money, investment money, but your own direct way of exchanging your energy in the world for resourcefulness and money included, and self-worth and self-value as well. That's a theme. So with Hades here, I like to think of Hades on the North Node in your 2nd house of earned income after this eclipse, triggering something to do with the buried treasure that you may not have known you had, a gift, a talent, an offering for the world. Something is inside of you, Gemini, that is being asked to be excavated and brought to the surface with Hades there, that will increase and improve your resourcefulness and your financial situation over the next 6 months. All right, so I'm looking forward to that for you. Yeah, that feels right. With that Uranian energy, again, pay attention to your insights, pay attention to your ahas around ways to be more resourceful, ways to capitalize on your value in the world. Thank you for listening, Gemini. Cancer, the eclipse for you guys is operating in a very primary axis of the chart, low battery, and that is the axis of your self-identity. I really want you to consider, as this eclipse unfolds, in the 1st house energy and the 7th house energy, things about self and other. For you Cancerians, it's literally the eclipse is in the house of marriage, or the house of, if you're a counselor or whatever, your client base, or if you're, or your public or your audience, the 7th house. It's also the 7th house of your business partnership, should you have business partnerships. So, but for you Cancers, there's something that's being brought to your attention, right? Jupiter is blessing this part of your chart in his Kazemi to the sun during the eclipse, with Uranus, the god of sudden insight and aha and eureka, coming through that part of the chart as well, sort of shining a Jupiterian angle, a trine towards that. So something good is trying to happen in this part of your life, all right? Because the North Node in the 1st house conjunct Hades is really calling you in the next 6 months to excavate, unearth, mine, or uncover some golden nugget, some treasure about who you are. I'm really going to say that you may have some self-discovery about your very selfhood, your identity, and your you-ness. I have a program I'm running in April, May, and June called Discover You. I'd probably say all of you Cancers would be very really well equipped to discover you between December 26th and the next eclipse on June 21st, 2020. All right. Thanks for listening. Virgo, I am looking at you guys and wondering about romance. The eclipse is happening in your 5th house. Yee! Oh, Leo. I do this every time. I somehow forget Leo. Guys, I don't even know where to begin with that. Okay, so Leo, I'm so sorry. Leo, I'm laughing at this. I need a sticker on my forehead. Leo. So for you guys, it's the 6th house and the 12th house. So the 6th house of your, the eclipse itself is in your 6th house. This is your house of your job. It's where you work, your workplace, your livelihood. It could actually look like slavery and servitude, or it could look like service and dharma and right livelihood. It depends on where you are in your soul's journey. So for you guys, I'm wondering if you're not going to experience a vortex of change that's been ongoing since mid-2018, catalyzing a new opportunity or insight regarding the thing that you're up to for your work. Or the workplace, or the livelihood feature of you. Now, with the North Node going through your 12th house, you've been asked to look at past lives, karma, karmic patterns, and trends over the last while. And now with Hades conjunct the North Node in your 12th house, there's a possibility that really what's going to come up out of these next 6 months for you is some kind of recovery, uncovery, discovery of something that you're not conscious about. Everything in that 12th house, the karma, the enlightenment house, is unconscious for the most part. Now we can bring it to awareness through our dreams at night, meditation, reverie, and insight. Those are the ways it can, like go from the unconscious to the conscious part of you. So look for some new self-discovery about mostly things that are your own self-undoing. Now, if you ever had a hidden enemy, like I don't know who they might be, but your hidden enemies will be unhidden. They'll be uncovered for your highest good during anyone who undermines or tries to undo you in some way, Leo, they're going to come out of hiding or be brought to the surface during the next 6 months, because hidden enemies is a feature of the 12th house. Alrighty. Virgo. So Virgo, your romance house is activated, and this is ongoing. Children, house of creative expression since mid 2018. The eclipse brings that Jupiter blessing to this part of your chart. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. So pay attention if you're pregnant or wanted to get pregnant or conceive. This is often a sign that this is a possibility in the next 6 months for you. Jupiter in the heart of the sun, taking instructions from the divine, giving you blessed opportunities here, all you Virgo energies. And I hope I said Virgo. And in your 11th house, you're experiencing that conjunction of the North Node with Hades, the god of the underworld. And I'm wondering what treasure is going to be uncovered that's going to expand you and grow you, especially in new social circles, alliances, friendships, your tribe. The 11th house, the house of great gains, is a good year for great gains to suddenly show up. From your career path, your livelihood could produce unexpected treasures, because Hades will like to dig it up and excavate and uncover things as well. So, any garbage or dirt that's been hidden in your friendship circles as well, like especially if they have been toxic, and by bringing them to the surface, there's healing. That could be a theme as well for you guys. So pay attention to that, Virgos. Maybe some friend will tell you something or share something that was hidden, and in the sharing, it brings greater goodness to your life and healing as well. All right, Libra. So the 4th house is what is most active during this eclipse and the 6 months onwards. House of home, house of ancestral line, house of father, house of your own anchors and your own roots. It's already the house of the underworld, which is kind of interesting because Hades, god of the underworld, is going to be active and conjuncting this eclipse, and conjuncting in particular the North Node in your house of career. I'm going to kind of go with the idea that perhaps there's something that's going to uncover itself in the career front, like a golden nugget or a hidden treasure of opportunity that will unfold within the next 6 months. So pay attention to as well that Uranus Trine to your 4th house, and ask yourself as well, what is there that you can uncover from your own childhood, from your ancestral talents and gifts, from your father or your father's line, that may be a golden gift or opportunity, and it may come to you as an aha or an insight or a new understanding, all these Uranian features over the next 6 months. I don't know if I can give you an example, from my own life, but I feel like understanding my father more deeply at one point in my journey, and understanding that, as a Chinese face reader said to me, that I was my dad's golden path, really revealed to me a new sense of that I was living into a destiny that my father didn't have a chance to do. He was a pharmacist, and he really would have been probably an artist, a poet, or something very magical and mystical, and he took his dad's business over. And I didn't do that. I was given the chance to be a pharmacist, but I chose to, and my dad gave me the freedom to choose otherwise. And I am his golden path, the one who chose to do what I love with the magic I'm born for, which is a signature name of my mentorship program that I do in January and February this year. And so for all of you, I'm really touched by the thought that for some of you, or all of you Librans, there's some gift here of understanding more deeply the paternal aspect of your family system as well. and maybe having some breakthrough insights there that will inform your career and give it greater power over the next 6 months until the June 21st eclipse on the solstice in 2020, on June 21st. Moving forward, Scorpio, your 3rd and 9th house are active. Now, writing, speaking, teaching, communicating, divinating, if you like, that's very 3rd house, short-term trips and travel. If you're a writer, speaker, educator, you are rocking it since 2018 when this vortex of energy began mid-18 to move through the 3rd house for you, transforming, terraforming, and renovating the way you write, teach, speak, and communicate. Now, there's a blessing here with Hades conjunct the North Node in your 9th house of book publishing, your 9th house of God, your 9th house of foreign lands, but you could also just call it the 9th house the house of the international, you know? So maybe something you're doing will have a big splash. Maybe it'll have international reach. I like that. It feels true. There's gold in them there hills with Hades, the god of the underworld. Also gold and mining and miners are part of it. Excavation and uncovering treasure in the 9th house. And this is boding really well for a lot of you Scorpios who are influencers and into social media and use the internet, very much the 3rd house energies, that this is going to be a very lovely 6-month window. Now, don't forget Jupiter is whispering with the divine. He's just spent time in the lap of God, the heart of the sun, you know, getting instructions for you. So pay attention to golden opportunities that Jupiter will present once he gets visible again in the sky for you to have a great influence in that 9th house energy. If you're planning a trip in the next 6 months or would like to go off to a foreign land in the next 6 months from this eclipse, you can pretty well be guaranteed that thanks to the energy of Hades there, you'll uncover some treasure. You know, I don't mean you'll get there and dig up underneath the Sphinx, although somebody should do that, but you might find treasure in the journey itself. Golden treasures of wisdom, understanding, truth, and knowledge. 9th house themes. Sagittarius. Okay, guys, I love this for you. It's earned income, super powerful energies being activated in your resourcefulness and your earnings section of your chart. I really want you to focus on the way that you make your money and how you value yourself. And this has been an ongoing theme since mid-2018. And now you're getting some extra juice. Jupiter blessing the eclipse, the trine from Uranus, sudden insights and ideas and ahas about how you can make money in the world without being a slave and a servant to the system. I mean, you Sagittarius, you need to be outside the box. You're big, you're bold, you're ambitious in a way, ambitious with the heart, ambitious with aiming your arrow at what's true. And the North Node conjunct Hades in your 8th house during this eclipse brings some hidden treasures from the deeply hidden realms of the 8th house, the unconscious, the archetypal, the mystery, the occults, the secrets, the place of secrets, the house of death. If somebody has kept a secret from you that doesn't serve them to keep a secret from you and certainly doesn't serve you, you may have the uncovered treasure of a revealed secret in the 6 months that follow this eclipse. It's also the house of money that doesn't belong just to you. Shared resources, business money. If you have money invested in something with somebody else, you know, a property, a business, or if you have investments somehow, this is very good news for you. You're going to liberate some kind of treasure that's been tied up and locked up. It's been underground, so to speak, thanks to Hades. I'm also wondering too, with this 8th house energy, that if you are married, this is your spouse's money. So for some of you Sagittarius, your partner or your spouse's finances could get a boost as some lost or hidden money comes to light for them. Okay, that's just another way it could show up. All right. Capricorn, yay. Caps, you guys are going through a lot. Oh my God, can I just hold your hand? You know, let me hold your hand. I mean, come on. Every planet's doing a pile up, a massive stellium in the house of you. So you sun, moon, and ascendant Caps, especially you ascendant Caps, are going through a lot of change right now, a lot of identity shifting, especially in the next 2 months. Now, let's go back and think in July of 2018, the first of the eclipses started navigating through this part of the chart for you. And what part of the chart is it? The house of myself, my identity. The house of my partner and my beloved, my marriage partner, my business partnerships, the others I engage with, the others who show up in my life. So you might have had a sea change of people in terms of the people you hang out with, you know, in terms of like connection, like my marriage partner, my business partner, my client base, you know, the ones I do one-on-one work with. Now the feeling is with the North Node in the 7th house conjunct Hades, there's some kind of golden treasure that's going to be excavated or uncovered in the next 6 months in your existing relationships, like your marriage, in your business partnerships, and in your connection to others that you are working with intimately, one-on-one. I'm also sensing, Capricorn, that you may really have with this Jupiter Kazemi, the sun, some sorts of golden opportunity, Jupiter blessings about your own self, your body, your physical body, the way you appear in the world, the way you feel about yourself, your avatar, you know, that you inhabit as a soul, expanding, growing, and becoming bigger, a little larger than life in the 6 months that follow this eclipse, with the wisdom that Jupiter will bring you from his powwow in the heart of the sun. So pay attention. You know, certainly as Jupiter clears the beams of the sun, and we get into the middle to the end of January, you might be able to get some kind of real downloads from what Jupiter has to tell you in order to expand your identity and your own sense of selfhood in a positive way until June 21st, 2020, when the last of these eclipses, solar eclipses, happens in this part of your chart. Aquarius rising, sun and moon. You guys, like me, I'm an Aquarius rising. I've been going through a big karmic reshuffling. All of this energy is in your 12th house of past lives, karma, enlightenment, liberation. It's a deeply spiritual house. I want you to know that. It's not just about, oh, my karmic baggage. It's like your enlightenment, too. I've had an enlightenment episode on December of 2018 as this thing unfolded. A new wave of grace hit me, a grace bolt, I call it. So for you Aquarians, with this eclipse happening now, with Jupiter in the heart of the sun, you could have a greater expansion of your spiritual wisdom, understanding, and truth, the direct knowledge of who you really are, the recovery of a past life memory or the end of an old pattern of past lives, clearly coming up for review and dispensing with it for good. I'm going to have to go a little faster. I'm running out of battery juice here. In the 6th house of right livelihood, where it's your service, slavery, and drudgery of a job you don't like, when it's in the downside, it's also your body, your physical health routines. That's being aspected now with that Hades conjunct the North Node, bringing you golden opportunity and hidden treasure there. There's something you may not know quite yet, will be coming to the surface that will be a golden treasure for your physical well-being. And that could even be like someone says to you, did you know that if you eat gluten, it's bad for you? And you didn't think about that, and suddenly you realize you're celiac, It could be just one person's health tip. Or someone says, did you ever try that, new thing called the Qigong for the da-da-da, and you try it and it changes your life? Look for those kinds of things. Okay, I'm looking for those too, you Aquarians. The 6th house will bring you golden nuggets, treasure, and your right livelihood. When you're in alignment with your Dharma, you will be like reaping rewards and treasure in the next 6 months, thanks to Hades, the god of the underworld and excavation, conjunct the North Node, and also sextile Uranus. So sudden as well, sudden qualities to it, sudden successes, sudden treasures uncovered. For your physical body, Uranus is very much the Shakti, the Kundalini energy as well, the prana. So a revitalization of your Shakti, Chi, and Kundalini energies, if you need that, sort of like a boost, a good boost. Last but not least is our lovely Pisceans of the world, you mystics of the zodiac, and your 11th and 5th house are up for grabs. So your 11th house of friendships and alliances, a great gains from your career, people who benefit you, benefactors, friends who want to help you, your tribe. The eclipse is happening there. Jupiter whispering in the heart of the sun, bringing you golden wisdom and knowledge and opportunity in the months that follow from his powwow with the divine, maybe reorienting your social circles a little bit in your online networks as well, which is very much where we can experience larger tribes, the groups that you belong to, right? The 5th house is your house of children and romance, creative expression. And any of you Pisces are thinking of having a child or conceiving a child, Hades conjunct the North Node could bring you an unexpected, out from underneath the surface, goodness with your children, pregnancy, childbirth, creative expression. If any of you Pisces, and romance, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like Lazarus here. I mean, Hades conjunct the North Node in the house of romance. If you're a single Pisces, somebody might come out from underneath the underground that you thought was dead and gone and buried, and suddenly that love, romantic love, resurrects itself. If you're in a current love relationship, something hidden, something under the surface, some dirt might come up that will reveal the truth to you and free you up and bring you greater opportunity to follow love in a path that's going to bring you true growth and soul growth as well. All right, so there could be some shifting gears around romance for the single Pisceans. If you're married, I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably much more about your creative energies and any existing children as well. All right, thank you all for listening. Just a reminder to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It's a new channel. If you didn't hear in the beginning, I do have an ongoing gift certificate page now on my website, link below. Gift away for Christmas if you haven't had a chance. Only $97 for Jupiter's Blessings for an hour with me live on Zoom. And that's a really decent price, as well as Harness Your Lucky Stars. Both are on sale until the end of December. And my fabulous year ahead forecast, which will cover 2020 in super detail, is on sale for $150. If you want to gift somebody a whole way of looking at their 2020, that's still on sale till the end of January. And there's gift certificates where you can share astrology with a beloved. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you all a beautiful Christmas holiday season. I should say holiday season, whatever spiritual practice you follow. And I look forward to talking to you guys next on the Saturn-Pluto conjunction video coming up in a couple of days. Mwah.